Hey YouTube, Logan with Hideaway Homestead here, coming to you today with a tree species video. I've done some of these in the past. Some of them seem to do really well, so I thought I would do another one today, one that I've been meaning to do for a while, and that is about the oak. In particular, in this instance, we're going to be talking about the water oak. That's what we call it here in Alabama. The common name is, scientific name is Quercus nigra, and this specimen that I have here behind me, which has a pretty substantial trunk on it, is probably around 80 years old. These trees are not very long lived. Despite what people think about oaks, there are certain species that are not as long lived as others, and there's a lot of them that are faster growing than what people would think. You'll see some of your oaks don't grow that fast and don't get that big that quick, but Quercus nigra, the water oak, is an exception to that rule. Now, I'm going to start out with talking about identifying this tree. First, as you can see, it has sort of a smooth grayish bark here. I can't get in there quite because of the blackberries that are here below, but it has a smooth, sort of smooth, it gets a few ridges in it as it gets older, but a smooth grayish brown bark. This one here has got some lichen growing on it, which is not particularly going to be on every single Quercus nigra or water oak. But the leaves are pretty much what really gives it away. I'm going to get over here to a branch where I can get this down to show you here. Little round lobed leaves, and the acorns on this one. See if I can get up here. Oh, yep, there they are. These here are, let's see here, probably 6 months old. So Quercus nigra, the water oak, is in the red oak family. So all of your oaks in the red oak group will mature their acorns in 2 seasons, so basically about 18 months. If they have a mast year, it will take a year and a half for those acorns to drop, unlike the white oak, which is right here. White oaks, this is the species. It's in the white oak group, but it's also the one that is commonly known as the white oak, Quercus alba. It produces its acorns in 1 season. We'll talk about it in another video. I'll try to focus more on the water oak right now. Get that skeeter. Oh, took off. This tree can offer us so much. For one, it has really beautiful lumber. I think a lot of people would see something like a water oak and think that it's more of a trash tree, but it has a really pretty red lumber. And it's one that's going to produce pretty fast. You're going to get a large amount of lumber in a short amount of time compared to a lot of other of your high dollar trees. It's a very dense wood, great for working with. We'll have some rot resistance, but not a whole lot. It'll definitely last longer than, say, a pine post in the ground, which is not going to last that long anyway, if it's wet. But this tree, for one of the things that I see huge value in is in the leaf litter with all oaks. Leaf litter is a wonderful way to feed a lot of your homestead animals in winter. Now, they're not going to eat the leaves specifically. The leaf litter creates wonderful habitat for your insects to overwinter in, and I've got some video. I'm hoping I can find it to show y'all of my chickens eating some of the bugs. It's an older video, so I probably won't find it. Not gonna make any promises. If I can, though, I'll put it in, or maybe even make it into a short on my channel. But anyway, this tree is just going to put down tons and tons of leaf litter. there are tons of insects and caterpillars that are going to sleep in that leaf litter during the wintertime. So planting a few oaks in certain areas is a wonderful way to feed chickens during the wintertime. Another way to do that is with the standing leaves themselves and twigs. Oaks harbor a ton of caterpillars that overwinter here and come back to life in the spring and start moving around. Now for chickens, it's going to be really hard for them to get to those branches up high, but if you've ever seen any of my videos on coppicing, we can totally fix that by cutting a few stumps at ground level and keeping those shoots under 6 foot. They hold on to their leaves during the winter that are about 20 foot down. It's called they're called marcescent leaves. There's many theories on why they keep those leaves. One of the theories being that it was to protect new buds coming out in the spring, because those buds would be extremely palatable to herbivores like woolly mammoths and sloths and stuff like that, and it would keep them from eating on those leaves. That's just one of the theories, and if you think about it, it makes sense, because about 20 foot up is where the trees stop doing that, and that's about as far as one of your woolly mammoths can reach. Anyway, going on with feeding our animals, we don't have woolly mammoths, unfortunately, or fortunately, we don't get that kind of food from them. But one of the things that's really good for the chickens is anytime you have acorns. Now pigs and ducks will eat acorns. They don't like the red oak acorns as much because they're more high in tannins as much as they do the white oak, but they'll still eat some. One of the things that really munches down on these little acorns is a thing called a curculio larva. And they're basically this beetle with a big old long mouth that chew into a new forming acorn, lay their egg in it, the larva forms in there, and then when it drops on the ground, the larva comes out and burrows into the ground. When you've got a ton of those and there's an infestation of them, the chickens can get a ton of protein from that. So another really great way to feed chickens. I'm probably going to talk a lot more about oaks, and especially coppice and oaks, considering that I'm going to coppice a ton over on my property. Especially once we get moved in, we're going to have a lot of coppice systems and pollard systems with oaks. We have several water oaks, and we have several white oaks as well that will be pollarded and put into that system. And hopefully there'll be plenty of videos in the future of showing y'all exactly what we have planned to help feed our livestock with these trees. This is all going to be part of it. That's the thing about trying to feed your animals off the land. You can't just rely on one thing. So I hope this video was helpful and informative about the water oak, Quercus nigra. If you've got any questions or anything to add, anything that you might know that I didn't mention in the video, or any questions that you might have, or your experience with these trees, leave that down in the comments, please. And subscribe to the channel for more like this. I drop a video every day. Appreciate everybody for watching. We'll see y'all in the next one.